Unit 1. A baby and a sock. The mother gave her baby a red apple. The baby tried to eat the apple. His mouth was too small. And he didn't have any teeth. His brother took the apple. His brother ate the apple. The baby cried. His brother gave the baby a blue ball to play with. The baby smiled. His brother took the ball from the baby. He rolled the ball on the floor. The brown and white dog picked up the ball. The dog chewed on the ball. The baby cried again. His brother picked up the cat. He put the cat on the bed with the baby. The baby pulled the cat's tail. The cat jumped off the bed. The dog chased the cat. The baby cried again. His brother let the baby hold a sock. The baby played with the sock. The baby was happy. Unit 2. Birds and a baby. The baby was lying on her back. A bluebird flew in through the window. The bluebird had blue eyes. It sat on the baby's crib. The bird had a bell around its neck. The bell rang. The baby smiled. The baby reached for the bell. The bird shook its head. The bell fell off the bird's neck. It fell next to the baby. The baby picked up the bell. The baby rang the bell. Another bluebird flew in through the window. This bluebird also had blue eyes. The baby had brown eyes. The birds looked at the baby. The baby looked at the birds. The baby rang the bell again. Both birds flew away. The baby started to cry. His mama came into the room. The baby smiled. Mama saw the bell. She asked the baby where the bell came from. The baby pointed at the window. Unit 3. A cat and a dog. The black cat jumped up onto the chair. It looked down at the white dog. The dog was chewing on a bone. The cat jumped onto the dog. The dog kept chewing the bone. The cat played with the dog's tail. The dog kept chewing the bone. The cat jumped back onto the chair. It started licking its paws. The dog stood up. It looked at the cat. It licked the cat's fur. The cat licked the dog's nose. The dog went back to its bone. A boy ran through the room. He was wearing a yellow shirt. He almost ran into the chair. The cat jumped off the chair. The cat jumped onto the sofa. The chair fell onto the floor next to the dog. The dog stopped chewing the bone. The dog chased the boy. The boy ran out to the street. He threw a stick. The dog chased the stick. The dog lay down. It chewed on the stick. Unit 4. The baby bear. The baby bear followed his mama. Mama bear walked through the woods. She was looking for berries to eat. She found some blackberries. She started eating them. The baby started eating them, too. They ate all the berries. Baby bear was full. Mama bear was still hungry. She started walking again. She wanted to find more berries to eat. Baby bear lay down. He was full. He wanted to take a nap. But Mama bear came back. She growled at Baby bear. He understood Mama's growl. When Mama growled, he obeyed. He got up and followed his mama. Someday he would take a nap after a meal. A squirrel ran up a tree with a nut. It dropped the nut and ran back down to the ground. It picked up the nut and looked at Baby bear. Then it ran back up the tree. Baby bear did not like nuts. They were too hard to open. Unit 5. An apple pie. The tree was full of red apples. The farmer was riding his brown horse. He stopped under the tree. He reached out and picked an apple off a branch. He bit into the raw apple. He enjoyed the apple. His horse turned its head to look at him. The farmer picked another apple off the tree. He gave it to the horse. The horse ate the raw apple. The horse enjoyed the apple. The farmer put a dozen apples into a bag. He rode the horse back home. He put the horse in the barn. He walked into his house. The cat rubbed up against his leg. He gave the cat a bowl of warm milk. He sat down on the sofa. He opened a book to read. His wife came home. She cooked the raw apples. She made an apple pie. They ate bread and hot soup for dinner. They enjoyed the bread and soup. They had hot apple pie for dessert. They both enjoyed the apple pie. Unit 6. The top bunk. He and his brother slept in a bunk bed. He had the bottom bunk. His brother had the top bunk. The top bunk had a guardrail. The rail kept the sleeper safe. His brother didn't like the rail. He always left it down. One time his brother fell out of the top bunk. He hit the carpet and woke up. He said, "Ouch." Then he climbed back into the top bunk. When he woke up the next day, his back was sore. Mom took him to see the doctor. The doctor examined him. The doctor said he was okay. He said to keep the guardrail up. His brother said he would do that. That night his brother climbed into the top bunk again. He left the guardrail down. He said the guardrail was like jail. He didn't want to feel like he was in jail. He fell asleep. Then he fell out of the top bunk again. Unit 7. Ask Santa. It is December. That means it is Christmas time. Christmas time means Santa Claus is coming. Sarah and Billy love Christmas. They love Santa Claus. They love the gifts from Santa. Last year they got nice gifts. Sarah got a teddy bear and a rubber duck. Billy got a green boat and a rubber duck. The rubber ducks float. When Sarah takes a bath, her pink duck floats in the water. When Billy takes a bath, his blue duck floats in the water. One time Billy put a goldfish into the tub. It swam for a while. Then it died. He buried it in the backyard. He was sad. This year Sarah and Billy want bicycles. Sarah wants a red bike. Billy wants a blue bike. Mama said she would talk to Daddy. Sarah asked Mama, "Why don't you talk to Santa?" Mama said, "That's a good idea. When Daddy comes home, he and I will talk to Santa." Unit 8. A birthday bike. January 7th is Benny's birthday. He will be 8 years old. He is in the 3rd grade. He goes to Park Elementary School. An elementary school is for kids. It is only 1 mile away. He walks to school. It only takes 20 minutes. When it rains, he wears a raincoat. He used to take an umbrella. But he lost the umbrella. His mother gave him another umbrella. He broke that one. His mom said, "You and umbrellas don't get along." For his 8th birthday, Benny wants a bicycle. He can ride the bike to school. After school he can ride with his friends. He can ride the bike to the swimming pool. He can ride the bike to the library. His mom and dad took him to the bike store. They asked him to look at the bikes. He looked at all the bikes. He chose a red bike. He showed his parents. Dad said it cost too much. He told Benny to choose another bike. Benny chose a blue bike. Dad said the blue bike was the right price. Unit 9. In the garden. Mama was in the garden. "What are you doing?" Johnny asked. She said she was planting roses. Roses are flowers. They are very pretty. They are usually red. Roses have thorns. His mama said, "Thorns will stick you. Be careful around thorns." Johnny went to the front yard. His dog Rex was waiting for him. Johnny picked up a stick and threw it. Rex chased the stick. He brought the stick back. Johnny ran around the house. Rex chased him. Johnny ran through the garden. Rex ran through the garden. Mom yelled at Johnny and Rex. She told them to play somewhere else. She told them to stay out of the garden. Johnny apologized to his mom. He went to the garage and got his bike. He went for a bike ride. Rex ran next to the bike. Unit 10. Today's mail. The mailman put the mail in the mailbox. Dad went outside. He said hello to the mailman. The mailman said hello. Dad opened the mailbox and took out a magazine and 2 letters. One letter was from his sister. The other letter was from his brother. The magazine was for his wife. It was a garden magazine. His wife liked to work in the garden. She grew flowers and vegetables in the garden. Dad went back into the house. He opened both letters. His sister invited him to a birthday party. His brother invited him to a wedding. Dad enjoyed reading the letters. He enjoyed getting the invitations. He picked up the phone. He left a message for his sister. He would come to the birthday party. He also called his brother. He said he would come to the wedding. Unit 11. Boys will be boys. The 2 brothers loved each other. But sometimes they argued with each other. Sometimes they yelled at each other. Sometimes they pushed each other. Sometimes they hit each other. Sometimes they got into a fight with each other. Bobby was the older brother. Billy was the younger brother. Bobby was older than Billy. Billy was younger than Bobby. Bobby climbed into a tree. His kite was in the tree. He could not reach his kite. He fell out of the tree. Billy laughed. He laughed when he saw Bobby fall to the ground. Bobby was not hurt. But he was angry. "Why are you laughing?" he asked Billy. "That was funny," Billy said. Bobby said it wasn't funny. Billy said it was funny. Bobby pushed Billy. Billy pushed Bobby. Bobby punched Billy in the stomach. Billy punched Bobby in the stomach. They put their arms around each other. They wrestled on the ground. They rolled around and around. Their mom came outside. "What are you 2 doing?" she asked. She separated them. She said, "You shouldn't hit each other. That's not nice. Wait till your father gets home." She sent them to their rooms. Unit 12. A good meal. The children were hungry. They looked out the window. Where was their mother? She walked into the house. The children ran over to her. "Mama, we're so hungry," they both said. She said lunch was coming. She walked into the kitchen. She opened a can of chicken soup. She poured the soup into a pot. She added water. She put the pot on the stove. She made 2 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. She sliced an apple. The soup was hot. She poured it into 2 bowls. She put the sandwiches on 2 plates. She put apple slices on each plate. She put the bowls and plates on the table. The children ran to the table. "Thank you, Mommy," they said. Then they started eating. The cat and the dog watched them eat. Unit 13. No food, no job. I am an adult. I'm not a kid. I'm a grown-up. I need some money. I have no food. I am hungry. I am not thirsty, because water is everywhere. But water has no taste. I want to drink a soda. I want to drink milk. I want to drink coffee. I want to work. Nobody will hire me. Nobody is hiring anybody. Companies are firing people. Companies are laying off people. Everyone is looking for a job. I cannot pay my rent. I will have to live in my car. I don't want to live in my car. My car has no bed. Everyone should live in a house or an apartment. Many people don't have a car. They live on the street. A street has no bed. Nobody should live on the street. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. Maybe I will go to church. Maybe I will find help there. Unit 14. New shoes. She is young. Her shoes are old. She wears them to work. She goes to work 5 days a week. She loves her work. She is a waitress. She works at a restaurant. The restaurant is near her home. She walks to the restaurant. She stands up all day long. She is young and strong. But her shoes are not. They are old. She saw an ad in the paper. All shoes were on sale at the shoe store. She walked into the store. She looked around. She saw some black shoes. They looked good. She tried them on. They were very comfortable. They felt good. They were only $25. She paid cash. She wore them home. She felt good. She was ready for work the next day. Unit 15. No friends for me. I am lonely. I am always by myself. I meet people every day. I smile at them. I say hello. I am nice to them. I want to have a friend. But I have no friends. What is wrong with me? I am polite. I am friendly. I am nice. I am kind. Why don't people like me? All I want is one friend. Everyone has one friend. I always see people with their friends. They laugh with each other. They have fun with each other. They do things with each other. What about me? I am by myself. I watch TV by myself. I go to movies by myself. I go to restaurants by myself. I go to the park by myself. I told my mother that I am lonely. She said it is my fault. Why? I asked. She said, because you never ask anyone to be with you. My mom is right. I never ask people to be with me. I am afraid they will say no. Unit 16. Life is good. I am happy. I have many friends. I have a large family. I have 4 brothers and 4 sisters. I am in the middle. 4 brothers are older than me. 4 sisters are younger than me. I go to school. I am in the 6th grade. I like my teachers. My teachers like me. I have friends in every class. My favorite class is history. I like to read about history. History is a story about our past. Soon we will all be history. Then kids in school will read about us. I hope they like our stories. My best friend is Bobby. Bobby and I do many things together. We swim together. We play basketball together. We ride our bikes together. I have many other friends. We all go to the mall on weekends. We go to movies. We go to restaurants. We tell jokes. We laugh. We have fun. Life is great. Unit 17. Tell the truth. She was angry. She was angry at her husband. He lied to her. He lied many times. She was tired of his lies. She said enough was enough. She took off her ring. She dropped it into the toilet. She flushed the toilet. She got into her car. She got on the freeway. She drove the car fast. She was crying. She was very sad. She drove the car faster. She passed many cars. The speed limit was 60 miles per hour. She was going 80 miles per hour. A cop saw her. The cop chased her. The cop turned on his red light. He turned on his siren. She heard the cop car. She saw the flashing light. She drove faster. Now she was going 90 miles per hour. The cop drove faster. It started to rain. She didn't slow down. She lost control. The car rolled over. It rolled over and over. She died before it came to a stop. Unit 18. Corn for people and animals. The farmer drives a tractor. The tractor digs up the ground. He plants yellow corn in the ground. He plants the yellow corn in the spring. The corn grows in the summer. The rain helps the corn grow. If there is no rain, the corn dies. If there is a lot of rain, there is a lot of corn. He harvests the yellow corn in late summer. He sells the corn at his vegetable stand. He sells 1 ear for 25 cents. He sells 4 ears for $1. He sells all his corn in just 1 month. The neighbors love his corn. The corn is fresh. It is bright yellow. It is tasty. It is delicious. The birds love his corn, too. They don't pay for it. They eat it while it is in the field. They don't cook it. They eat it raw. The farmer doesn't get angry. Birds have to eat, too. So do cows. The farmer has 1 cow. He gives his cow fresh corn every summer. The cow loves the corn. It eats a lot of yellow corn in the summer. Sometimes it makes yellow milk. Unit 19. God loves babies. The husband and wife wanted to have a baby. They prayed for a baby. God answered their prayers. The doctor said they were going to have a baby. The wife asked, "How many?" The doctor said he didn't know yet. The husband and wife were very happy. Now they would have a baby. They both wanted to have a baby. They visited the doctor a month later. He examined the wife. He used a special machine. He saw the baby. He saw more than 1 baby. He saw 2 babies. He saw more than 2 babies. He counted the babies. He told the wife, "You will have more than 1 baby. You will have 8 babies." The wife couldn't believe it. Her husband couldn't believe it. 8 babies. "We will have a big family," said the husband. "We will have a very big family," said the wife. "But how can we pay for all these babies?" asked the husband. "We can pay for 1 baby. But 8 babies cost a lot of money. How can we pay for 8 babies?" The wife said, "We will find a way. God will help us find a way." They both smiled. They would have a big happy family. Unit 20. Don't be late. He was late. He was always late. Why did time always go so fast? Time always went too fast. He looked at his watch. He looked at the clock on the wall. They both said 6:10. He had to leave in 10 minutes. But first he had to shave. Then he had to brush his teeth. Then he had to get dressed. Shaving took time. Brushing his teeth took time. Getting dressed took time. But he had only 10 minutes. So he turned off the TV. He turned off the radio, too. He turned off the table lamp. He went into the bathroom. He shaved. He brushed his teeth. He went into his bedroom. He got dressed. He looked at his watch. He looked at the clock on the wall. They both said 6:25. He had to hurry. He went out to his car. He drove fast. He slowed down at a stop sign. A cop saw him. The cop wrote him a ticket. "Why didn't you stop at the stop sign?" the cop asked. "But officer, I was in a hurry," he said. The cop gave him the ticket. The cop said, "Leave home earlier next time." Unit 21. A clean car. He had a blue car. He loved his blue car. It was dark blue. It had 4 doors. It was not a new car. It was an old car. But it had new tires. It had new black tires. All 4 tires were new. He felt safe with his new tires. They would not blow out. He could drive everywhere with his new tires. His car was dirty. He needed to wash it. The windows were dirty. The doors were dirty. The hood was dirty. The trunk was dirty. The bumpers were dirty. The tires weren't dirty. They were new tires. They were black and shiny. They looked good. He did not have to wash his tires. But he did have to wash his car. He put water into a bucket. He put a sponge into the bucket. He washed his car with a sponge. He dried his car with a towel. His car was shiny blue now. It looked like new. Now his old car was as shiny as his new tires. Unit 22. Just a cough. The TV reporter coughed. Then she coughed again. The other TV reporter was worried. "Are you okay?" he asked. She couldn't answer. She continued to cough. She coughed and coughed. The other reporter dialed 911. "What is the emergency?" the 911 person asked. "I think my friend is dying," said the reporter. "What is your address?" asked the 911 person. "We are at 123 West Hill Street," said the reporter. "Someone will be right there," said the 911 person. But then the woman stopped coughing. She said she was fine. She said thanks to the other reporter. He said, "You're welcome." He called 911 again. He said the emergency was over. He said his friend was okay. She would not die. She was going to live. The 911 person was glad to hear that. Unit 23. Rain and hail. Dark clouds were in the sky. The sun went down. The weather got cold. The wind started to blow. Leaves blew off the trees. Paper flew through the air. People buttoned their jackets. The rain started to fall. At first it was quiet. Then it got louder. It was a storm. The rain was very loud. The man couldn't hear his TV. He turned up the volume. Now he could hear his TV. He looked outside his door. He looked at the rain. It was pouring off his roof. It was a flood. Then he saw lightning. Then he heard thunder. It was a very cold night. The rain changed to hail. The hail was very noisy. He turned up the TV volume again. Now he could hear his TV again. He watched TV for a while. Then he looked outside again. All the cars were white. The street was white. The ground was white. The hail covered everything. The hail looked just like snow. He wanted to make a big snowman. But you can't make a snowman out of hail. You can only make a snowman out of snow. Unit 24. Hungry birds. The baby bird was in his nest. He was in his nest with his sister. Their nest was high up in the tree. They were waiting for Mama Bird. Mom always brought them food. They were hungry. When would Mom come home? Would she bring them a worm? Would she bring them a fish? Would she bring them a piece of bread? What would Mom bring them? They looked at the squirrel. The squirrel looked at them. The squirrel put a nut in their nest. The birds looked at the nut. How could they eat a nut? They didn't have strong teeth. The squirrel has strong teeth. The baby birds had no teeth. They had beaks, but no teeth. They heard Mom. They knew her voice. They knew the sound of her wings. She brought them some food. It was still warm. It was delicious. It was pizza. It was pizza with cheese. Baby birds love pizza with cheese. They were so happy. How delicious. Unit 25. At the bus stop. He looked at his watch. It was time for the bus. Where was the bus? He was at the bus stop. He stood up. He looked down the street. No bus. He looked up the street. No bus. Where in the world was the bus? It was time for the bus to arrive. He sat down on the bench. It was getting cold. The wind was blowing. He didn't have a jacket. He was wearing shorts. He was wearing flip-flops. His head was cold. His arms were cold. His legs were cold. His feet were cold. His toes were cold. His toes were turning blue. Where was the bus? He stood up again. He looked down the street. He saw the bus. It was coming. In a minute he would be on the warm bus. In a minute his nose would be warm. His hands would be warm. His whole body would be warm. How nice. The bus arrived. But it didn't stop. It kept going. It was the wrong bus. He looked at his watch again. Where was the bus? Unit 26. Brown and Blue Eyes. She had big brown eyes. Her sister had big blue eyes. Her brother had big green eyes. Her mother had a gray eye and a green eye. Her father had black eyes. Why are our eyes different? She asked her mom. Who knows? Said her mom. Life is strange. It is full of mystery. This is a mystery to all of us. She asked her teacher. She asked the doctor. She asked the nurse. She asked the mailman. Nobody knew why her family had different color eyes. Finally she asked the librarian. A librarian reads a lot. A librarian works in the library. A librarian is surrounded by books. Books have information. Lots of information. The librarian looked in all her books. She called other librarians. They looked in all their books. Still, nobody knew the answer. I'm sorry, little girl, the librarian said. Maybe someone will invent a computer someday. Then I will give you an answer. But for now, your big brown eyes and your sister's big blue eyes are a big mystery. Unit 27. Farm Animals. The chicken and the duck were friends. They lived on a farm. They walked around together. They swam in the pond together. They talked about many things. They talked about the cat. They thought the cat was tricky. They thought the cat was dangerous. The cat looked at them a lot. They didn't trust the cat. We must always keep our eyes open when the cat is around, they both agreed. They talked about the dog. The dog was very friendly. The dog wanted to play. The dog had lots of energy. It barked a lot. It ran around a lot. They both liked the dog. They talked about the farmer. The farmer brought them food. The farmer took care of them. The farmer took care of all the animals. He fed the cow. He fed the pig. He fed the goat. He fed the sheep. He fed the rabbit. They liked the farmer. He took good care of everyone. He was a nice man. Farmers are good, said the chicken. We need farmers, said the duck. Unit 28. Wash your nose. He wanted to wash his hands. His hands were dirty. They were dirty from the newspaper. All newspapers have black ink. The black ink got on his hands. When he rubbed his nose, he put black ink on his nose. His wife looked at him. She laughed. Why are you laughing? He asked. She said his nose was black. She handed him a mirror. He looked in the mirror. He said, yes, you're right. I have black ink on my nose. I look a little bit funny. No, you look very funny, his wife said. She laughed again. He went into the bathroom. He turned on the water. He picked up the bar of soap. He rubbed the soap between his hands. He washed his face. He rinsed his face with water. He looked in the bathroom mirror. His nose was clean. There was no ink on his nose. He walked out of the bathroom. He wanted to show his wife his new nose. Unit 29. Catch some fish. Let's go fishing, said the father. That's a good idea, said the mother. They put the kids into the car. They put the fishing rods into the car. They put the jar of worms into the car. They drove to the lake. The lake was huge. The name of the lake was Yellow Lake. It had yellow sand all around it. The sand looked like gold. But it wasn't gold. It was only sand. They parked the car. They got out of the car. They sat down on the sand. They put the worms on the hooks. They put the hooks into the water. They waited for the fish to bite the bait. They waited 30 minutes. Then one of the kids caught a fish. It was a trout. It was a rainbow trout. It had many colors, like a rainbow. But its belly was white. They took the trout off the hook. They put the trout into a bucket of water. The trout swam around in tiny circles. It was confused. Where did the big lake go? They caught 3 more trout. Then they went home. They had delicious fried fish for dinner. Can we go fishing every day? The kids asked their parents. Unit 30. An impolite bird. A robin is a pretty bird. It has a red breast. It has black wings. It sings a pretty song. A crow is pretty, too. It is completely black. It is shiny black. A crow is a big bird. It is a smart bird. It is a lazy bird. It watches people. People have food. They throw food into a garbage can. The crow flies down to the garbage can. It walks around the edge of the can. It looks for something tasty. It hops into the can. It picks out a potato chip. It flies into a tree. It eats the potato chip. Then it flies back to the garbage can. The robin sees the crow. The robin is hungry. It flies down to the garbage can. The crow yells at the robin. It says, "Get out of here. This can is my can." The robin flies back into the tree. The crow is a greedy bird. It doesn't like to share with others. Unit 31. Daddy likes beer. The little girl was thirsty. She wanted something to drink. She opened the refrigerator. She looked inside. She saw milk. She saw soda. She saw orange juice. She saw beer. She wondered what beer tasted like. Her daddy drank beer every day. Beer must be good. If daddy likes it, it must taste good. She grabbed a can of beer. She opened the beer. She smelled it. She couldn't smell anything. She swallowed some. "Yuck," she said. The beer was horrible. How could daddy drink that stuff? She put the can back into the refrigerator. Daddy could finish it when he got home. She grabbed the milk. She poured some into a glass. She added chocolate syrup to the milk. She stirred the milk. Now she had chocolate milk. She loved chocolate milk. Poor daddy, she thought. He likes beer more than chocolate milk. Unit 32. Bears and a Pig. The 3 bears left their cave. They lived in a beautiful cave. The cave was big. The cave was warm in winter. The cave was cool in summer. It was a quiet cave. It was a dark cave. They loved their cave. Today was Sunday. They liked to pick berries on Sunday. So they left their cave. They walked through the woods. They found a field of berries. Mama Bear had a basket. They filled the basket with blackberries and blueberries. Then they walked back to their cave. When they got inside the cave, they heard a noise. "Who is that?" Papa Bear asked. "It's only me," said a pig. "What are you doing here?" asked Papa Bear. "I'm hiding from the farmer," said the pig. "I think he wants to eat me." Papa Bear told the pig he could stay in the cave as long as he wanted. The bears shared their berries with the pig. Then the pig and baby bear took a nap together. Unit 33. She wants to ride. The girl got up on the horse. It was a brown and white horse. It was a big horse. She sat on the horse's back. She was taller than her father. She looked down at her father. "Daddy, you are shorter than me," she said. Her daddy said, "Yes, you are taller than me. You are taller than your mother. You are taller than the horse." The horse started walking around in a circle. The girl held on to the reins. Her daddy held on to the horse. She was having fun. She liked to ride the horse in a circle. Someday she would ride the horse fast. Someday she would ride it straight and far and fast. Her daddy told her to be patient. "You must crawl before you walk. You must walk before you run. First, ride a slow horse. Then, ride a fast horse." She agreed with her daddy. "You are right, "Daddy," she said. "I will be patient. Today I am riding a slow horse. But someday I will ride a fast horse. I will ride my fast horse all day, every day." Unit 34. A second job. "We are running out of money," Dad said. "I must find another job." Mom was a teacher. Dad was a teacher. They had 4 children. The baby had a rare disease. She was always sick. They had to take her to the doctor often. The doctor was expensive. But he took good care of the baby. He said she would be healthy in a few years. But Dad owed the doctor a lot of money. He looked in the paper for another job. He asked his friends about another job. Finally he found another job. He became a taxi driver. After he taught school, he ate dinner. Then he went to the taxi company. He drove the taxi to the airport. He picked up people at the airport. He dropped off people at the airport. Some people gave him big tips. Some people gave him small tips. Some people gave him no tips. He drove the taxi for 8 hours. Then he went home. He was tired. He went straight to sleep. Every night he had a dream. Every night it was the same dream. Every night he dreamed about money. Every night the money was on fire. Unit 35. A short plane ride. The pilot and the passenger got into the plane. It was a small plane. It had one engine. It was an old plane. The pilot started the engine. "Are you okay?" he asked the passenger. She said she was okay. They were flying to an island. The island was only 30 minutes away. It would be a short flight. She was a nurse. Her husband was a doctor. The doctor was on the island. The doctor needed some medicine. She had the medicine in her bag. The medicine would save a young boy. The young boy was very sick. The plane took off. The engine sounded funny. The pilot frowned. "Is everything okay?" the passenger asked. "I'm afraid not," said the pilot. "There's something wrong with the engine. We have to land." He landed the plane. The nurse got out of the plane. She looked around the airport. She saw another plane. This plane had 2 engines. She walked over to the plane. "Is this a new plane or an old plane?" she asked the pilot. The pilot said it was a new plane. "Good," she said. "Please take me to the island." Unit 36. A windy day. It's a windy day. The wind is blowing hard. Paper is blowing everywhere. The wind blew the man's hat off. It blew the woman's hat off. It blew a bird off the telephone wire. The other birds laughed. The wind keeps blowing. The trees are bending over. The people outside are bending over. The wind makes it hard to walk. The wind makes it hard to drive. The big trucks have to pull over. They have to stop on the side of the freeway. One driver did not stop. He was in a hurry. The wind blew his truck over. The big truck is on its side. The wheels are spinning in the wind. The driver was not hurt. He is waiting for a crane. The crane will pick up the truck. The crane will put the truck on its wheels again. The driver learned his lesson. He will never drive in the wind again. The wind makes it hard to fly, too. Pilots know the wind is dangerous. They do not fly their small planes in windy weather. They do not want to crash into the ground. A crash will kill them. They sit at the airport. They drink coffee. They wait for the wind to die down. Unit 37. Snowed in. More than 100 passengers got on the plane. It was a winter day. It was January. The weather was very cold. It was snowing. Ice was on the roads. But the airport was open. The big jets were flying. A little snow never stopped a big jet. Big jets fly all the time. They rarely crash in bad weather. They rarely crash in good weather. Big jets are very safe. The passengers got on the plane. It was 7 a.m. The plane was supposed to take off at 7:30 a.m. It did not take off at 7:30 a.m. It did not take off all morning. It did not take off all afternoon. The plane sat on the runway until 6:30 p.m. The passengers sat in the plane all day. The plane could not take off. The pilot could not see the runway. He could not see anything. The only thing he could see was his two hands. A little snow was okay. But this was a lot of snow. This was too much snow. But maybe the snow would stop. Then they could take off. So the pilot waited. The passengers waited. At 6:30 p.m., the pilot told the passengers to get off the plane. Everyone was happy to leave the plane. They went back into the airport. They waited for the snow to stop. But it didn't stop. It snowed for 2 more days. Unit 38. Try to tell the truth. Your grandma told you not to lie. Your grandpa told you not to lie. Your mother said to tell the truth. Your father said to tell the truth. You try to tell the truth. You try to tell the truth all the time. But you cannot tell the truth all the time. No one can tell the truth all the time. Everyone lies sometimes. Your mother lies sometimes. Your father lies sometimes. Your teacher lies sometimes. You lie sometimes. You lie to be polite. You lie to protect someone you love. You lie to protect yourself. You lie when you get caught. You lie to get something you want. You lie to be popular. You lie to avoid work. You lie to your family. You lie to your friends. You lie to strangers. It's normal to lie. Some people say that lying is bad. They say that lying is evil. They say that they never lie. That is a big lie. Of course they lie sometimes. Everyone lies sometimes. Lying is like laughing, it is part of life. Unit 39. A bad economy. The economy is bad. People are out of work. People are losing their jobs. People are getting laid off. People are getting fired. People want to work. But nobody is hiring workers. Nobody needs workers. Everyone has less money. Everyone is spending less. Everyone is buying less. Consumers are not buying anything extra. They are buying only what they need. They are not buying new cars. They are keeping their old cars. They are not buying new homes. They are staying in their old homes. They are not buying new clothes. They are wearing their old clothes. They are not taking vacations. They are staying home. They are not going to restaurants. They are doing things that are cheap. They go to the library. They go to the park. They go to the museum. They go to the beach. They stay home and watch TV. Life is hard. Life is tough. Everyone hopes the economy will get better soon. They hope the bad times will go away soon. Unit 40. The birthday party. It was Susan's birthday party. She was 7 years old. She was born July 18th. She was in 2nd grade. She had many friends. She had friends in school. She had friends at church. She had friends in swim class. She had friends in dance class. Nancy was her best friend. Nancy and Susan did everything together. Susan invited all her friends to her party. All her friends came to the party. It was a pool party. The pool party was in her backyard. About 30 kids came to her pool party. There was a lot to eat. They had hamburgers and hot dogs. They had oranges, apples, and bananas. They had cake, candy, and marshmallows. They had soda and juice. There was a lot to do. They swam in the pool. They dove off the diving board. They floated on the floats. They played many different games. Everyone had fun. Everyone had a good time. No one wanted to go home. No one could wait until Susan turned 8. Unit 41. Plants need water. He loved his plants. His plants were in pots. There were 10 pots in back of the house. There were 8 pots in front of the house. There was a different plant in every pot. No plants were the same. They were all different. They were all beautiful. It was Friday. It was time to water the plants. He watered the plants once a week. He went outside. He grabbed the hose. It was green and long. It was about 40 feet long. He turned on the water. Water came out of the end of the hose. He watered each plant in back of the house. He watered each plant until the soil was dark and wet. He watered each plant until the soil was soft. Then he went out front. The hose out front was also green. It was 30 feet long. He watered all the plants out front. Puddles of water were around each pot. There were 8 puddles of water out front. Butterflies and bees visited the wet plants. He watched for a while. Then he went back inside. Next week he would water the plants again. Unit 42. Life will be better. He was poor. He needed more money. He needed a good job. He had a job. But it wasn't a good job. It was a bad job. He was a waiter. He worked in a restaurant. It was a cheap restaurant. The meals were cheap. The customers were cheap. They usually gave him quarters for tips. Sometimes they gave him $1. Sometimes they gave him nothing. That made him angry. Why did they give him nothing? He was polite. He was helpful. Yet they gave him nothing. He wanted to kick those customers. But then he would go to jail. He didn't want to go to jail. So he went to school. School was free. He wanted to be a mechanic. He liked to fix things. He wanted to fix cars. He wanted to own a car shop. He would make money. He would hire other mechanics. They would work for him. He would buy a house. He would get married. He would have a family. Life would be good. Right now life was bad. But he would make it better. Unit 43. A lucky day. Today was her lucky day. She was late for the bus. But the bus was late, too. So she didn't miss her bus. She was late for work. But her boss was late, too. So her boss didn't know that she was late. She didn't have any cash for lunch. But her friend had a 2-for-1 lunch coupon. So she got a free lunch. Her boss was feeling a little sick. He told everyone to take the afternoon off. She went to the park. A green piece of paper was under the park bench. She picked it up. It was a $5 bill. She looked around. Where did the money come from? There was no one around. She was the only one in the park. There were some birds and squirrels in the park. But this was not their money. This was her money. It was her lucky money. She went across the street to the liquor store. The lottery jackpot was worth $10 million. She bought 5 lottery tickets. She knew that one of them would be lucky. This was her lucky day. Unit 44. My family's house. We have a nice house. It has 3 bedrooms. It has 3 bathrooms. It is a 1-story house. It doesn't have any stairs. It doesn't have a second floor. It doesn't have a basement. It does have an attic. It has a chimney and a fireplace. It has a kitchen. It has a dining room. It has a living room. The living room has a big sofa and a big TV. Our living room is our family room. We watch TV together. We play games together. We play games like Scrabble and Monopoly. We enjoy those games. They are fun to play. We have a small front yard. We have a big backyard. We don't have a swimming pool. We don't have a garden. We have a 2-car garage. My mom has a blue Cadillac. My dad has a red Honda. I have a bicycle and a skateboard. My sister does, too. She's a good skateboarder, for a girl. We live on a quiet street. We never hear police sirens or fire sirens. I go to a nice school. Someday I will get married. I will own a nice house on a quiet street. And I will have a swimming pool in the backyard. Unit 45. Wash your hands. Wash your hands. Wash your hands often. Wash your hands 10 times a day. Clean hands fight germs. Clean hands look good. Clean hands smell good. Everything you touch has germs. Money has germs. Germs live on money for days. Paper money is dirty. Metal money is dirty. Folding money is dirty. Coins are dirty. Everyone touches money. Sick people touch money. Wash your hands after you touch money. Door handles are dirty. Germs live on door handles for weeks. Germs love door handles. Everyone touches door handles. Sick people touch door handles. Wash your hands after you touch door handles. People are dirty. People have germs. Germs love people. Germs live on people for months. Wash your hands after you touch other people. Wash your hands after you hug other people. Wash your hands after you shake hands with other people. Wash your hands, and wash some more. You can't wash your hands too often. Unit 46. She writes letters. She will write a letter to her grandma. She will write about her day at school. She will write about her classmates. She will write about her teacher. She will write about the classroom. She will write about her school bus. She will write about her school bus driver. She won't write about her pets. She won't write about her fat black cat. She won't write about her little red dog. She won't write about her soft white rabbit. She won't write about her big brown horse. That's because she doesn't have a big brown horse. Not yet. She wants a big brown horse for her birthday. She will write a letter to her daddy about the horse. She will ask her daddy for a big brown horse. A big brown horse will be a perfect birthday gift. She will never want another birthday gift. A horse will make her happy forever. The letter to her daddy will ask for a horse. Maybe daddy will give her a horse. Then she will write a new letter to her grandma. She will tell grandma about the new brown horse. Unit 47. A bus accident. There was a bus accident. The bus accident was near a dam. The bus ran off the road. The bus tipped over. 2 people died. 8 people were hurt. The bus driver was going too fast. The road is a 2-lane road. It is a narrow road. It isn't a wide road. The road is not straight. It bends a lot. It curves a lot. The road looks like a snake. The speed limit is 25 miles per hour. The bus was going 50 miles per hour. The passengers were afraid. The bus ran into a guardrail. Then the bus tipped over. Passengers yelled. Passengers screamed. Passengers fell down. Passengers fell on other passengers. Luggage flew through the air. Luggage hit people. Luggage hit people in the face. Luggage hit people in the head. The windows broke. The windshield broke. Glass was everywhere. Bodies were everywhere. Luggage was everywhere. The ambulances came. They took people to the hospital. The police came. They took the driver to jail. Unit 48. A headache. He has a headache. His headache started an hour ago. His head feels like it will explode. Of course, his head wouldn't explode. It just feels that way. The headache is in the back of his head. That is where his headaches usually are. Sometimes he has headaches on the top of his head. Sometimes he has headaches in the front of his head. Sometimes his headaches are between his eyes. Sometimes his whole head hurts. But usually the back of his head hurts. His headache started while he was reading. Reading causes headaches for him. He hates his headaches, but he loves to read. He reads for only 15 minutes. Then he stops reading. He takes a break. If he reads for 16 minutes, he'll get a headache. So he tries to take a break every 15 minutes. But sometimes he forgets to take his break. Today he forgot to take a break. Now he must wait until the headache goes away. It will take an hour or two. Then he can read again. But right now he must live with the pain. Unit 49. She's so hungry. She likes magazines. She likes to look at the pretty photos. Magazines have photos of people. They have photos of animals. They have photos of clothes. They have photos of food. She sees a photo of a hamburger. It looks so delicious. The photo of the hamburger makes her hungry. She goes to the refrigerator. She opens it. She wants a hamburger. But there is no hamburger in the refrigerator. The hamburger is at McDonald's. But she is a little kid. She can't drive to McDonald's. She can't call McDonald's, because they don't deliver. A hamburger place is not like a pizza parlor. A pizza parlor delivers. Her mom was at work. She would have to wait until Mom came home. Mom would drive her to McDonald's. She sat down again. She turned the page. There was a photo of chocolate ice cream. The ice cream was in a cone. Oh, what a beautiful photo. She licked her lips. It looked so delicious. Mom, please come home soon, she thought. Unit 50. Basketball in LA. Many people love to watch basketball. The Lakers are a great basketball team. The Clippers are a terrible basketball team. Both teams call Los Angeles their home. They play at the Staples Center. The Staples Center is new. It is a shiny new arena. It is in downtown Los Angeles. It is next to 2 freeways. It is next to the 110 freeway. It is next to the 10 freeway. The 110 goes north and south. The 10 goes east and west. Many basketball fans take the freeways to Staples Center. They drive their cars on the crowded freeways. The crowded freeways have too many cars. The fans park their cars in the huge parking lot. Parking is not cheap. It is $22. The fans walk to the arena from the parking lot. They buy their tickets. The cheap tickets are $10. The expensive tickets are $2,600. Rich people buy the expensive tickets. Poor people buy the cheap tickets. The rich people sit very close to the basketball court. They talk to the players. The poor people sit far away from the basketball court. They talk to each other.